Urban Artificial Intelligence Strategic Thinking Media Platform. DJ Academics recently reacted to a lot of criticism that he's been getting. He reacted to Joe Budden, Charlamagne the Guy, and a YouTuber named Chig Smooth, who have been critical of academics. Now, DJ Academics has seemingly went on some type of campaign. Basically, he feels like the whole Jay-Z thing, we've all heard about it on the internet, online, on social media. Jay-Z going viral for being in the Epstien files. Now, DJ Academics feels like he's not getting enough press. He's not getting enough bad press when you compare him to R. Kelly, when you compare him to Diddy. When these allegations came up about these two guys, it was kind of a wildfire of media attention for them. That's not the case for Jay-Z. DJ Academics is one of the social media juggernauts that's speaking out against this. He is one of the more popular bloggers. So for him to speak out about this and kind of bring attention to it, he's saying, hey, nobody's talking about Jay-Z. I'm not seeing this enough on my timeline for all the allegations that he has. Now, all of this is alleged. I don't have a dog in the fight. I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Jay-Z should be investigated more? Him being in the Epstein files, that was a big deal. But a couple of days later, people just stopped talking about it, man. I got to be real. Was he doing anything wrong? Is he guilty of any wrongdoing? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't there. I'm not going to act like I know. I don't know. But when you look at the way Diddy was treated, when you look at the way R. Kelly was treated, and both of these guys are presumably guilty, and I'm not calling Jay-Z guilty, but once these allegations came up, people was nonstop talking about it. It was constant conversation about the legal issues that they were having. People were interviewing victims, and it was, it was a circus around them. That's not the case with Jay-Z. All right, it's quiet around Jay-Z. It's not a whole lot of talk. All right, so DJ Academics went online and he kind of just watched what everybody had to say about the things that he was saying about Jay-Z. And I gotta salute DJ Academics. You may not agree with what he says or how he acts or the narratives that he tries to push, but when people rebuttal to him or respond, he does go live, he watches it, and he replies. All right. So he was watching Chig Smooth, who did a video about Charlamagne the God and Joe Budden responding to DJ Academics. Now, I'm gonna have a lot of content up on the screen like I always do, showing y'all what was going on. But to break it down and make a long story short, both of these dudes kind of said the same thing. Joe Budden basically said, when we see some proof, then it's full speed ahead, man. I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that. We know Jay-Z and Joe Budden have a tumultuous past. When they were rappers, they were not cool with each other. Later on in life, now that Joe Budden is this big time podcaster, him and Jay-Z talk. I remember hearing him on not on a recent episode, but it was maybe a year or so ago on, the new Joe Budden podcast with all these new people. And he was talking about how they spoke on the topic and Jay-Z called him and told him it was cap. I think it was the Benny Siegel topic, all right, when everybody knows the legendary story where Benny Siegel was about to be released from jail and the judge asked Jay-Z, can Benny Siegel go into your care, into your custody? And allegedly, Jay-Z said no. Now, there are other people who have confirmed that story. I think Oskino confirmed that story. A couple people who were actually in the courthouse, or at least outside of the courthouse, did confirm that story. Now, are they lying? Is Benny Siegel lying? Is Jay-Z lying? I don't know. But Joe Budden said Jay-Z hit him and said that was cap. All right. So that's kind of proof that Jay-Z and Joe Budden have a relationship. They can contact each other if need be. They can communicate with each other. Joe Budden basically said there's no proof. He said it's only allegations. It's no proof. And since it's no proof, he's not going to move forward attacking Jay-Z. Now, Joe Budden is one of the top hip hop podcasters, if not the top hip hop podcasters in media today. And he speaks very little of anything related to Jay-Z and the Epstein files. I think I can count on my hands the times that I've heard him address this. And he never cuts those conversations up and promos those clips. So you're only going to see him speak on Jay-Z if you watch the whole podcast, which that's really not the norm for him. The hot topics get cut up, they get clipped, they get reposted. Not when it comes to Jay-Z, though. Now, Charlamagne, on the other hand, he said something that was kind of interesting. When he spoke on it, he basically directed his comments to DJ Akademiks, saying, when the truth comes out, everybody's going to see the truth. It's groups trying to create narratives about certain people. So what he was saying is that there are groups who just want to see Jay-Z locked up for whatever reason. They're pushing the narrative that Jay-Z is a disgusting person and he may have been involved with underage women. We've heard that rumor a while. Again, it's just a rumor. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing has been taken to court. There's nobody who has any type of criminal filings against Jay-Z. And when I talk about what we've heard in the past, we've all heard about Foxy Brown, we've all heard about Aaliyah, even Beyonce. A lot of people said when Jay-Z met Beyonce, she was underage, and he showed interest in her when she was underage. That is all alleged. I don't know if any of those things are true. That's what the internet says. Those are all alleged incidents. All right. So DJ Akademiks feels this should be taken more seriously. And he also spoke on how Jay-Z tries to act unbothered, but behind the scenes, he's working. Jay-Z is very much involved in social media, like a lot of people today. All right. A lot of people today, they won't post, they won't like, they won't comment, but they check social media every day. We all know somebody like that. We know somebody who they go months, sometimes years without posting anything. They won't like anything, they won't share anything, but they're still reading people's statuses. They're watching people's stories. They're looking at what people doing. That is allegedly what DJ Akademiks says that Jay-Z does. Now, recently, there was kind of a little bit of proof of that. All right. Recently, Michael Eric Dyson went viral for telling a story about how Jay-Z called him as his homie. He didn't say that Jay-Z did anything wrong, but he did mention the story. Now, later, he went on live and he told us, the general public, that Jay-Z basically called him and checked him about it. If I was this dude, if I was Michael Eric Dyson, I would have never said that. All right. That kind of proves what DJ Akademiks meant. Jay-Z's never going to post anything on the internet about these allegations. He's never going to like or dislike any of Michael Eric Dyson's posts, but he's seen them because he called him. So Jay-Z is active on social media. He watches social media. He reads what's going on. And Michael Eric Dyson kind of exposed that a little bit. If I'm Jay-Z, I'm not happy about Dyson telling people this. That was probably supposed to be a personal, private conversation. Jay-Z probably did not want him to get on the internet and say, yo, Jay-Z called me and he was unhappy about the things I said. Because that's proof that Jay-Z is tapped in to the online community and to social media. And that probably means he's calling other people doing the same thing. If you say something he don't like, he's gonna call you and tell you, and he's gonna give you a little nudge. He's gonna give you a little wink, basically saying, "Bruh, shut the fuck up," or "I'm gonna stop fucking with you." Now, I don't know if that's the situation that he wanted to relay to Dyson, but anytime somebody gets online and they tell the story of how Jay-Z called them unhappy, they usually gonna correct their behavior. Now, all we can do is wait and see in the future, will he speak on the situation again? Charlamagne the God and Joe Budden, they basically stood on 10. They said, hey, it's not enough evidence. That's at least what Joe Budden said. Charlamagne's argument was that it's an agenda thing. People are pushing people who don't like Jay-Z. They want to get Jay-Z out of here. So they're doing the whole Me Too movement thing. They feel like if anybody is even accused of any type of sexual assault, it's a wrap for them. They're trying to use that, narrative as a weapon. And Charlamagne, I know why he feels that way. All right. He feels that way because people try to do the same thing to him. All right. He had some not so good charges. And anytime something big for Charlamagne happens, anytime he gets a deal or anytime he, goes viral for a good reason, these charges come back up. Y'all, how many times have we heard about these Charlamagne charges? How many interviews have we seen this woman go on? Nothing is happening. He's not going to jail. He's not losing brand deals. Nothing is happening. So let me ask y'all this. Can DJ Akademiks, Joe Budden, and Charlamagne the God coexist. Is this going to lead to some type of beef? I think it will, because DJ Akademiks isn't putting on the brakes. He's not slowing down. And he spoke on this before. Even if Jay-Z is innocent, he still should be investigated more. All right. The lack of eyes, the lack of press that's talking about Jay-Z, the lack of press that's reporting on Jay-Z is proof that Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and Desiree Perez manipulate the media. He says this is the proof. I want y'all to get in the comments and let me know. He said Michael Eric Dyson was the proof. That's manipulating media. All right. If I have a homeboy who's a big dog in media and he's talking about me and I call him and I say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I'm kind of, I'm telling him to stop. All right. That's basically what it is. Y'all get in the comments and let me know. Do y'all agree with that? I don't know, man. But again, I think this may eventually lead to a bigger beef between Act, Joe, and Charlamagne the God. As long as they're not going hard on Jay-Z, DJ Akademiks is going to keep going hard on them, man. I'm going to keep y'all up to date on this. Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform. I'm going to see y'all in the next episode. Peace.